Hello and welcome to another Fantasy Premier League video. My name is Steve and today we're talking about the Game Week preview for Game Week 5. Now to go through the Game Week 4 scores, what a game week. There were some pretty hefty scores floating around the place. I came away with 59 for the game week, which is slightly below average. Average was 62 for the game week. The main key here is I did not have Haaland for Haaland's hat-trick, which was pretty painful to watch considering I was rallying for De Bruyne to come through and at least get something from the match to warrant that decision, but fortunately not to be. I had Raya in net, who came away with 6 points in a 1-1 game against Everton, so he's lost the clean sheet, still managed to get 6 points. And it's because he's made 6 saves throughout the match and actually pulled in 2 bonus points, which is pretty impressive considering the clean sheet was gone. Trent got his goal for the weekend, which was great. He also came away with an assist, got the clean sheet, and pulls in 2 bonus points. Cancelo with the solo point, he got pulled this game week after 60 minutes, having already conceded 2 goals at that point. Luckily, he just did make it through to 60, otherwise it would have been a 0 for Cancelo, but we'll take the solo point there. Perisic, my trade in this week, comes away with a clean sheet. It was a little bit unlucky maybe to get not a little bit more out of that match. He was quite involved in the attack going forward, but didn't quite pull through. That's okay. Good things. Is looking good going forward. The Rico Henry experiment, who was traded in from Castagna a couple of game weeks ago because I wanted nothing to do with the Leicester defence, has been super unlucky, unfortunately. He had a assist disallowed last week and he's lost the clean sheet against Everton here. Comes in with 2 points. Neto, who came in off my bench this week for the injured Zinchenko. Zinchenko has sprained his knee the day before his game. And Neto I was actually quite happy for Neto to come in against the Newcastle, Eddie Howe's attacking Newcastle outfit. And, jeez, he had a one-on-one with the keeper, managed to nudge the ball over the top of the keeper and just over the crossbar to land on the top of the net. He just misses out on a goal there. He also managed to work an assist in for Jimenez, but Neto actually fouled the player on the way through, so they actually pulled it back for the foul. So he misses the goal, misses the assist, comes away with 2 points, which is not great because I needed Neto, Henry and De Bruyne basically to cover Haaland's hat-trick, and that clearly did not happen. We captained Salah. We got the fixture right. We put the captaincy on the correct fixture. However, in a 9-0 demolition of Bournemouth. So there's 9 goals, probably 9 assists. Sometimes you don't always get the assists, but there's 18 attacking returns up for grabs here, and Salah gets absolutely none of it. He does get the clean sheet point. So there's a small victory there, so we double our 3 through to 6. The painful part about this is there's 9.5 million 9.8 million managers out there, some of which don't play the game probably as seriously as a lot of engaged managers, and people were chucking captain armbands on Haaland this week. And they have done phenomenally well, which has hurt the rank for us. And even though we've done quite well, all things considered, without Haaland, it's still a point drop overall rank hit for me. Missing out on the captaincy points. This goes to show exactly how important the captaincy is each week, especially considering the pricing of FPL this season. Pretty much all the teams are consisting of pretty much the same players. The only varying point that is really happening week to week is where you're chucking your captaincy, which is a bit of a weird position for FPL to be in. I don't remember this happening in the years prior where I've played it. We've even got FPL Salah, one of the all-time greats, who has burning transfers left, right, and centre, and still maintaining a rank very high up the ranks. So I think this is just basically going to show FPL, the actual official creators of the game, how clearly wrong that they have got the pricing. That is not the point of this video, though. We'll carry on through the team. Luis Diaz scores a brace, which is awesome, considering we chose him over Andy Robertson. Luis Diaz hit the post in the first game week twice as well, so he may not have got the points the whole way through here, but he has definitely been in and amongst the possibility of goals. In this game, he does pull through with the points. Martinelli, my two Arsenal lads, Martinelli and Jesus, get a total of 3 points between them. This is actually quite fortunate for me, really, because there were still a lot of managers out there captaining Jesus this weekend as well. So his solo point probably does me more benefit than harm, really, things considered, because if he had have got a goal or an assist or anything of the likes, then there would have been about 3 million managers or so with him captained, and that would have hurt the ranks as well. De Bruyne with my vice captaincy got 2. On the bench we had Ward with 1 point, Zinchenko, which was the sub out, with 0. Archer does make it on the pitch for 1 minute this game week, and Planche, who has been transferred out to Molenbeek, sitting on my bench. He's just going to rot there for a little while because I have other issues in my team to deal with at this point in time. If we have a look forward to game week 5, I have already made one transfer, that is Zinchenko out. A sprain on the knee is not, so I don't know exactly how bad of a sprain it is, but anytime you sprain your knee, it is usually it's not a quick recovery, and he may not be rushed back in. Arsenal's fixtures also aren't amazing after the Villa fixture for clean sheets. They have Manchester United away. Everton should be alright for a clean sheet. Then they go away to Brentford, Tottenham at home, Liverpool at home, and then Leeds away. Leeds are an attacking team as well, and then Man City at home. So it's actually a pretty rough run of fixtures in terms of clean sheet potential anyway. In my video last week, I did say Zinchenko was short-lived for my team. He was going to become Cucurella, and having watched the Chelsea highlights, I didn't actually get to watch it. I was watching the 9-0 demolition of Bournemouth and just wondering how Salah was not involved in anything. Even missed an open net from 2 yards out. Still clearly painful moment in my mind, obviously, but I've shifted across to Cucurella. He was well involved in the attack moving forward. He does come away with an assist, even though he loses the clean sheet last week. He looked like their most go-forward man. James does come away with an assist as well. He was playing right centre-back with Loftus-Cheek out on the right wing-back spot in front of them. That probably won't last too much longer. Fofana will be heading over to Chelsea and probably straight into the starting lineup, which will move James out to right wing-back, which will send Loftus-Cheek to the bench. So any of you out there that do have Loftus-Cheek in your team, you might be wanting to have a look at how long he will still be starting. James's best position on the pitch is right wing back, and as soon as he moves out of right centre back into that right wing back spot, he will be straight back in my team. At the moment, it's looking like Cancelo is going to be the make way for James. I did have James in my team, who I subbed out to Perisic this week. Much of a muchness there. James came away with 7 points and Perisic came away with 6. The reason I made that move was Perisic's upside I thought was slightly higher, but also I caught the 0.1 million price rise, knowing that I was going to bring James back into my team in the coming game weeks. It's looking likely that it's going to be Cancelo, not because I'm worried that Man City won't keep any clean sheets. I'm fairly confident they will keep clean sheets going forward. It is just the new system that Pep has put in is not allowing Cancelo to get forward as much send the ball as many to be as creative as he has in the past. He used to be the man getting forward, sending balls into the box, taking pop shots from the edge of the area or slightly inside the box. This has not happened at all very much in the first 4 game weeks. He did get an assist in game week 2, I believe, where they actually did concede their clean sheet as well. But it was an own goal. He sent a dangerous ball in, the ball deflected off the defender and went in the goal. So he did get an assist there, but apart from that, he is not getting as forward in this Man City outfit as often as I would like to see, especially for the 7 million price point. James at 6 million out at right wing back will get more balls sent. Even James at right centre back is sending more deliveries in than Cancelo at the moment for $1 million cheaper. And it seems to be the way that Man City is playing when Erling Haaland is on the pitch. They have the 2 centre backs sitting on halfway, and then you've got Walker and Cancelo coming in from the wings and sitting just in front of them as kind of like a square 4 formation, sitting in behind the attackers, with Cancelo not really much license to get forward. It will be very interesting to see what happens this mid-game week game, considering Pep has said that Haaland will only play 1 game a week. He indicated that before the match against Crystal Palace in the press conference last week. And so it's looking likely that Haaland will be benched for the Nottingham Forest game if we take Pep's words at face value, assuming there are no other injuries in the team and whatnot, which will mean that Alvarez will probably play up front, I'm guessing, which it will be interesting to see what happens at that point. Do they still continue playing exactly the same system, just with Alvarez up there instead of Haaland, or if they're actually going to switch the system to what it looked like last season when they basically played the whole season without a proper number 9. So I am waiting to see what happens there before I make my decisions on Cancelo. I've still got 1 free transfer in this team as well. We're benching Henry against Crystal Palace away because Crystal Palace are a decent team, and I suspect Brentford will probably concede in this match. And I am currently starting Neto against Bournemouth away. I'm at a bit of a crossroads here because I'm not entirely sure what to do with Neto. He's dropped quite a bit already, and is touted to drop any further. So he's currently at 5.3 million. He's at negative 44.1 on the FPL statistics site. So it doesn't look like he's going to drop to 5.2 today. Hopefully not tomorrow either, and hopefully makes it through to this weekend without dropping to 5.2. I do have 0.6 million in the bank to play with, but I really don't know where to go. So I can't get up to Rodrigo. He's priced out at the moment. I would need to take a hit to go from Neto to Rodrigo, and I don't see the -4 being a very good spend. I was having a look at Aronson at Leeds as my most likely transfer in, but I can't see me transferring out Neto against Bournemouth. Like I said last week in the captaincy video, the reason I was captaining Salah was twofold. One, Liverpool are a quality side, and they will probably turn their poor start to the season around, which they did with emphatic fashion. But I also said it was because Bournemouth are probably the worst team in the league. Nothing much has changed. It's just basically driven home the point that Bournemouth are definitely going to struggle against the better sides in the Premier League, of which I would put Wolves up there. Now, Wolves are not an out-and-out attacking side, which is why I am kind of concerned that I am relying on one of their attackers. I would much rather have, say, like a Johnny or an Ait Nori playing in defense, so some sort of wing back where they're more likely going to keep a clean sheet and may sneak an assist, which will shoot them up bonus points and allow them to get hauls. Whereas Neto really needs to score 2 goals to do well here, and the only thing that is in favour of keeping Neto at the moment is their new purchases in Guedes and Nunez look like fantastic buys for Wolves. They are very attacking players. They've allowed Wolves a lot more go forward, and it does look like Wolves will generate a little bit more attack. However, is that going to fall at the feet of Neto? Who knows? And even if it does, so far this season he has not proven that he can put the ball away. He had an open goal in game week 1 or 2, which he somehow managed to not score, and then he has had a one-on-one in the last game week and sent the ball over the crossbar. So it's a risky play here to play Neto, but it's also risky to sell him because I do not know where I would go with that trade. Like, I could go to Aronson at Leeds and hope that he gets in amongst some sort of goal involvement against Everton. Like I said, Everton is a team I am trying to target, but I think Harrison and Rodrigo are still the best options at Leeds, and I'm currently priced out of both of them. So it's either a switch to Aronson or a hold for Neto. So it looks like I am going to hold Neto for this week. The other trade that I could potentially look at making is to get rid of Henry and go to another 4.5 million option. However, I was thinking that spot may be slated for Saliba. So the Zinchenko move out last game week was to allow me to bring in Saliba for Henry moving forward. Although the Arsenal clean sheet potential in terms of fixtures of opponents that they're coming up against is not great, and Fofana heading to Chelsea is currently listed at 4.4 million in the game. So the minute that he gets a start at Chelsea, he may be my 4.5 million rotating option. That will give me another 0.1 million in the bank, which is still not enough to upgrade Neto, especially if he drops another 0.1 million across this game week. And so I am thinking I only spend my one free transfer, which I have already spent. I hold on to the other one to roll through to 2 free transfers next week and deal with Neto then. And it will probably be some sort of combination of either Neto and Henry out, or potentially Cancelo out, and bringing in... If I take Cancelo out, I'm probably going to need some sort of Man City defensive cover, but that will give me the funds to upgrade Neto to someone else in midfield. Or if Neto does quite well against Bournemouth, I could potentially bench Neto and then upgrade Henry to anyone else and play him next week. At the moment, this is my bus team. I do have the captaincy on De Bruyne with a vice captaincy on Newcastle. I have not made this decision yet. That was just that was the planning that I had done in game week 1. I had planned to captain De Bruyne against Nottingham Forest this game week. Without Haaland up front, that probably means that most of the players in the game will captain Salah. Of course, all those FPL managers out there that aren't as engaged, who are playing the game for a little bit more fun, will probably still captain Haaland, especially after a hat-trick against Crystal Palace. Haaland may still start against Nottingham Forest too, so all the engaged managers will know about the quote from Pep, and they will be a little bit worried about captaining Haaland. However, there will be a lot of captainers out there that will captain Haaland because they will not be aware of that quote. Haaland may also start and could quite easily bang another hat-trick against Nottingham Forest. And so this captaincy decision is definitely quite a key decision this week. The likelihood is the highest captained player for the game week will be Salah. They are playing Newcastle at home. If Newcastle don't have Bruno Guimaraes for this game week as well, he was injured in the fixtures just gone on the weekend. He makes a massive difference to Newcastle's team. If they don't have Gamerish, Salah may be the best captaincy option this week, even though De Bruyne is playing Nottingham Forest. However, Nottingham Forest could be an absolute slaughtering from Man City here, and if Haaland doesn't play, where do the goals come from? And De Bruyne could come away with the hat-trick here. He is very lowly owned at this point as well. 26% of managers will in the game own him, and so I suspect less than half will captain him. And so if De Bruyne does haul and Salah, say, comes away with a goal or an assist, that may be a great way to climb back up the ranks, to actually use my differential in a premium differential in a very good fixture. However, if De Bruyne blanks against Nottingham Forest and Salah gets a hat-trick, that will hurt a lot. I have fallen down the ranks from 41k to 278k. It's a massive drop across the weekend, and that is largely because I did not own Haaland. Hopefully, though, my choice of De Bruyne, because of the minutes guarantee over Haaland, will come through this week, and I think that's probably where I'm going to have to lean. No risk, no reward, right? This is one of those moments where it's very similar to sitting at a poker table, right? You've got those guys out there that captain Haaland this weekend. Your captain Liverpool in a 9-0 demolition of the side. Your captain doesn't get any points. It's kind of like someone drawing to a straight flush when you've already got a flush on a poker table, and they hit it and absolutely felt you. It's painful, but that is FPL. That's why we love the game. See, it's the painful moments that make the victories in future all that much more worthwhile. Oh, that's what I'm telling myself anyway. So that's the game week preview. I will be back with the captaincy video tomorrow. It's a quick turnaround for FPL this week. The kickoff in New Zealand time is, the deadline, is 5 a.m. on Wednesday morning, with kickoff at 6:30 in the morning. That is, I think, 6 p.m. in England. Deadline with a kickoff at 7:30 p.m. And yeah, so I'll be back with the captaincy video tomorrow, which will be very important. It'll be very interesting to see where I land on this one. But yeah, if you've made it this far through the video, please do give it a like. If you're new around here, hit the big red subscribe button to be notified about new videos coming your way soon. And until next time, I will catch you again shortly. Cheers.